7 common English study mistakes and what to do instead. Most people who study English alone never reach fluency, not because they lack intelligence or dedication, but because they're using methods that feel productive without actually building speaking skills. Here are 7 of the most common solo study mistakes, why they stall your progress, and the simple fixes that actually work. Mistake 1: rewatching the same videos over and over. Replaying a video you already understand feels comfortable. You follow along easily, everything clicks, and your brain registers that as success. But familiarity isn't the same as growth. If you've seen a video 4 times and understand it 4 times, you haven't learned anything new on attempts 2, 3, or 4. The real problem is that rewatching becomes a way to avoid the discomfort of harder, unfamiliar content. And that discomfort is exactly where real learning happens. Watch a video once, then close it and explain what you just learned out loud, as if you're teaching a friend. No notes, no rewinding. This forces your brain to shift from passive recognition to active production, which is the skill you actually need when speaking. Try it. Watch a new video from start to finish without pausing. Then stand up, face a mirror or wall, and spend 2 to 3 minutes explaining what you just learned in full sentences at normal speaking speed. Mistake 2: reading English without ever speaking. Reading English every day, articles, essays, news, is valuable input. But if your mouth hasn't produced an English sentence in days, you're only developing half the skill. Many learners can read fluently and still freeze the moment they need to speak. That's because reading and speaking are different muscles, and only one of them is getting trained. The longer you go without speaking, the more disconnected your spoken English feels. The gap between what you know and what you can say keeps growing. What to do instead? After finishing an article, put your phone or laptop face down, set a 60-second timer, and react to what you just read out loud. What surprised you? What do you disagree with? What was the main point? Keep talking until the timer ends, even if it feels messy. Mistake 3: collecting vocabulary without using it. Writing new words into a notebook gives a satisfying sense of progress. But if those words never get spoken, they never truly stick. A vocabulary notebook that never gets reopened isn't a learning tool. It's a storage system for words that will slowly be forgotten. The act of writing a word down can trick your brain into feeling like you've learned it. You haven't. The word only becomes yours when you can produce it spontaneously in conversation. What to do instead? The moment you encounter a new word worth keeping, stop and use it in 3 spoken sentences immediately. One about your day, one about someone you know, and one about something you want in the future. No writing. If the word lives in your mouth today, it will stay with you. Mistake 4: shadowing in your head instead of out loud. Listening to a podcast and mentally repeating what the speaker says feels like shadowing. But if your lips aren't moving and no sound is coming out, it doesn't count. Speaking English is a physical skill. Your lips, tongue, jaw, and breath all need practice, and silent mental rehearsal trains none of them. This is why many learners can pass English exams with strong scores and still struggle to speak fluently. Comprehension and production are not the same thing. What to do instead? Find a private space, your car, your shower, the kitchen when you're home alone, and shadow out loud, speaking about half a second behind the speaker and matching their rhythm, pace, and tone. If sound isn't coming out of your mouth, you aren't shadowing. Try it. Pick a 5-minute segment of a podcast or video with a speaker whose voice you enjoy. Get somewhere you can speak freely, then play the audio and repeat every sentence out loud. Mistake 5: watching English shows with subtitles in your native language. Watching English TV while reading subtitles in your first language feels like study. It isn't. The moment your native language appears on screen, your brain switches off its English listening and reads instead. After hours of this, you've followed a story, but your English comprehension hasn't improved at all. You're also training your brain to expect a translation safety net every time it hears English, which makes real world listening feel even harder. Switch subtitles to English. Choose one character and pause whenever they say a line you like. Rewind 5 seconds, listen again, then say the line out loud, matching their tone and speed as closely as you can. You're turning passive entertainment into active listening and speaking practice. Mistake 6. Drilling flashcards full of words you'll never actually use. Pre made vocabulary decks are filled with sophisticated, rare words. You memorize them, you might never say them in your actual life. Meanwhile, the everyday phrases you genuinely need, things you'd say in meetings, at dinner, in casual conversation, aren't on any flashcard. Knowing a rare word doesn't make you sound advanced. It just means you've memorized someone else's word list rather than building vocabulary that fits your real life. Build your vocabulary from your own day. Each evening, write down 3 moments when you wished you had a better English word or phrase. Look up how a native speaker would actually say it. Then say each phrase out loud 5 times and use it in a spoken sentence about tomorrow. Mistake 7. Writing an English journal without speaking it. A nightly English journal is a great habit for writing. But if you want to speak confidently, writing every night is training the wrong skill. Your written English improves while your spoken English stays exactly where it is. The gap widens, and it's the spoken version that people actually encounter. Replace your written journal with a voice journal. Open the voice recorder on your phone and talk about your day in English for 2 to 3 minutes. No script, no planning, just speak. Then listen back and identify one thing you'd say differently. Record a short 30-second take with the improved version. This gives you all the reflective benefits of journaling, plus the speaking practice your mouth actually needs. The pattern worth noticing. Every single alternative in this guide shares one thing. Your mouth has to move. Input, reading, watching, listening, is valuable, but it cannot replace output. Fluent speaking comes from speaking, even when you're alone, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when the words don't come out perfectly. Study alone. Study smart. Speak out loud every single session.